but we are going to try and get started in just a couple of minutes, so if you kind of want to find your spot and get settled, we've got a lot to do tonight, so. And if there's anyone else out in the lobby that might be waiting to come in, now would be a great time to have them join us. I didn't think.
It'll go quick.
All right. I'd like to go ahead and call to order the October 9th Seminole County School Board meeting. We have tonight joining us for the invocation and pledge. Roll call. All 4 school board members are in attendance. How about that? We're all here.
We always are.
For the record, we have witnesses, but for the record, we're all here. For the invocation and pledge, we have Byron Durius joining us from Sanford Middle School, the principal there, and he's going to introduce one of his students who will lead us tonight.
Good evening, Dr. Griffin, Chairman Lockhart, board members, and guests. My name is Byron Durius, and I'm the proud principal of Sanford Middle School Math, Science, and Technology Magnet, where exploration leads to innovation. I'm proud to introduce tonight's invocator. Sandra Yuka is an 8th grade student in our pre-IB program. Sandra is an exceptional student. While maintaining high levels of achievement in rigorous and demanding courses, Sandra is also involved in the pre-veterinarian program, the We the People organization, and outside of the classroom, she is a competitive dancer. Sandra also scored perfectly on the 2018 Civics EOC. Sandra aspires to take her passion for science, interest in the environment, and her love of politics to become a lobbyist in hopes of reforming governmental policies to make the world a better place. She is joined by her mother, her pastor, and her civics and law studies teacher, Jen Corson. Without further ado, Sandra Yuka.
Okay.
Middle school is a profound time in a person's life where students have the opportunity to explore and discover. At Sanford Middle School, we believe that exploration leads to innovation, and for me, my civics and law studies courses have changed my perspective on the world and have allowed me to develop new passions. These courses have shown me how important it is to understand our rights and responsibilities as American citizens. In civics, we are taught how a bill becomes a law, a step-by-step process of going through the branches of government. Whereas law studies is unique because we get to experience the political arena and debate on constitutional issues in a way that the traditional classroom cannot provide. I know now more than ever that what the federal government does in Washington, D.C. can affect me or my family in Florida, and that the local government can become just as important as federal. Civics has given me an understanding of what this country was founded on, its principles, the rights it gives to its citizens, and the powers of the state and federal government. Law studies has shown me that the way the government wields its power now wasn't always what the founders intended, and that the United States Constitution is the fundamental document that restores justice in our country. After being in both classes, I've been prompted to take off my rose-colored glasses and see that our country isn't perfect, but if I participate and stay active as an American citizen, I can still be a part of something to make this country greater. Though Sanford is known for its STEM program, participating in civics, law studies, and the We the People program has changed my life and has proven Sanford truly is STEM and more. As someone who has always enjoyed social studies, these programs have given me a direction in which I can take my life. I believe it is very important for students at our school to take civics because when they are exposed to the rights and responsibilities they have as citizens, it teaches them that they can play a role in democracy, whether they're voting at a library on a fateful Tuesday or running for office in Washington, D.C. It can also teach them that what goes on in government isn't as always as simple as one of the current U.S. senators puts it in Schoolhouse Rock civics. In the end, the students are armed with knowledge and can communicate what they believe needs to be done to better the democracy they live in. We can create a more educated society if students take civics. With more people informed and aware of government limitations and constitutional liberties, it can be easier to recognize if there is someone in office that is not living up to the ideals of the office they hold, and in the future they can exercise their right and vote that person out of office. My time at Sanford Middle School has made me a more informed and educated citizen. As Mahatma Gandhi said, "Be the change you wish to see in the world." Now I understand the many national issues that can affect me and how the government really deals with them on the inside, and that it is my job as a citizen to form my own opinions, be an engaged citizen, and lead change for what I believe is right. As someone who already had an interest in government, civics and law studies have pushed me in the direction of law practice or maybe a future candidacy. They've taught me the things that I need to know about my American citizenship and all that comes with it. I've always hoped to make an impact in this world, and my time at Sanford Middle in these two courses has given me the basic tools I need to get there.
Please join us.
Great speaker.
Please join us in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Sandra, thank you so much for being here tonight and sharing all of that with us. I know your parents are very proud. I'm watching them behind you. You can't see them, but the smile on their face is very big. You did a great job. All right, we have joining us tonight Polly DeLucia from the Seminole County Council of PTAs. Thank you, Polly, for being here and for all that PTA does for our students. And Christine Kraus is here, a candidate for Seminole County School Board District 1. And those are all of the cards that I have to be recognized. So, Dr. Griffin, do you have any modifications to the agenda?
I have two items, Madam Chair. The first is the addendum for good cause is marked on our electronic agenda by a green flag named addendum item. And the second one is I want to pull item 10B, our annual investment performance report.
Okay. Board members, tonight, Mrs. Sanchez, the order is Mrs. Sanchez, Dr. Calderon, Mrs. Almond. So if you have anything to remove for clarifying questions or separate vote? No?
Ma'am.
All right. The only thing that I have is for a board appointment, a representative to serve on the CM at risk for Pinecrest Elementary. So we can do that.
I would love to do that.
Okay. We will do that. So can I have a motion to approve the agenda outline?
So moved.
Second. Motion and a second. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes unanimously. So now we get to have fun and recognize a lot of great students.
Dr. Griffin and board members, I'd like to recognize our October Veteran of the Month. This month, our veteran is Miss Cherie Martin, second grade teacher at Caroline Elementary School. Miss Martin? Cherie Martin has been an employee with SCPS since 1995 and has been at Caroline Elementary since its opening in 1996. She currently teaches second grade. Before coming to Florida, Ms. Martin taught 5th, 3rd, and 1st grades in Colorado, North Carolina, and Delaware. Cherie is a proud veteran of the U.S. Air Force and U.S. Air Force Reserves. In the Air Force, she served as an inventory management specialist, managing supplies, clothing, and equipment for an electrical installation squadron in Germany. Her next assignment was at Dover Air Force Base in Delaware. There, she ordered and managed parts and equipment for airplanes and vehicles. After her active duty time, she stayed in the Air Force Reserves. While in the reserves, she attended the University of Delaware. The GI Bill paid 100% of tuition and earned a Bachelor of Science in elementary education. The people, experiences, and travels while in the Air Force, she believes, makes her a better teacher. It was a great way for a small-town girl to follow her passion into teaching. And Ms. Martin, I believe you're joined tonight by your daughter, Victoria. So congratulations.
Dr. Griffin and board members, tonight we are proud to recognize several of Seminole County's outstanding students who received a perfect score on more than one state assessment during the spring of 2018 administration. Seminole County Public Schools had 644 students who achieved a perfect score on one or more state assessments. Of those 644 students, 36 received a perfect score on more than one assessment. We are excited to honor these students. Students, when your name is called, please come up and receive your award. Parents, family members, and school principals, please stand so that we can recognize you for your support of these outstanding students. Elementary Executive Directors Marion Cummins and Robin Dellinger, please come up and recognize the elementary students.
Students, as we call your name, would you please come forward and remain in the front for a group photo for elementary school? From Caroline Elementary, we have Keaton Song. From Goldsboro Elementary, we have Sahil Harlatka. From Goldsboro Elementary School, we have Yanii Jane. And from Lake Mary Elementary School, we have Natalie Sanchez.
From Parton Elementary School, we have Gianna Feo. From Sable Point, Michael Kabibo. You said that one. You did. From Lawton Elementary, Ashlyn Secret. Also from Sable, Tess Nixon. And from Woodlands Elementary School, Noah Rubino. Let's give a round of applause to these students for their outstanding achievement. Parents of these wonderful students, if you would please stand also and be recognized, and principals too. Congratulations. Ms. Demetria Faison, our Executive Director for Middle Schools, will now come up and introduce the middle school students.
Of the 36 students being honored this evening, 17 of these students are currently in middle school and achieved a perfect score on more than one assessment. The middle school students being honored tonight are from Childs Middle School, Rory Mann. From Indian Trails, Donato Ruggiero. From Jackson Heights, Ayla Bratton. Also from Jackson Heights, Sarah Duncan. From Jackson Heights, Tristan Irving. From Jackson Heights, Zabir Mostofa. From Millennium, Lauren Andrews. From Milwee, Angelina Sutton. From Sanford Middle School, Zoe Chu. Also from Sanford, Kira Henriquez. From South Seminole, Melania Houston. From Tuscaloosa, Rubina Torguside. So let's give a round of applause for all of these middle school students for outstanding achievement. Next, we will have the high school executive director, Mike Gaudreau, to come up and recognize the high school students.
Thank you. Of the 36 students being honored this evening, 10 are currently in high schools, and they achieved a perfect score on more than one assessment. The high school students being honored tonight are from Haggerty High School, Sana Yusuf. From Lake Brantley High School, Ryan Antelek. From Lake Brantley High School, Grace Stoker. From Lake Mary High School, Jana Crane. From Oviedo High School, Chloe Miller. From Seminole High School, Aaron Chury. From Seminole High School, Arian Manohar. From Seminole High School, Elizabeth McLone. And from Winter Springs High School, Elise Corley. Let's give one more round of applause for these outstanding students and their outstanding achievement.
I want to say thank you to the students, the educators, and the families that came out to honor these students. I want to thank District Assessment and Accountability Administrator, Ms. Daphne Zonka, for organizing tonight's celebration. And those of you that were just honored and your families, if you would like to exit at this time, that's perfectly okay.
There's always a mass exodus right before I speak. Always. All right, we are going to go ahead and continue with this evening's meeting, so if you can all make your way out to the lobby, that would be great. Thank you. At this time, we're going to go ahead and recognize all of our Let's Read Seminole winners. So if we can go ahead and get everybody to make their way out. All right, so we will continue with this evening's meeting. Or at least try to. I promise eventually. All right. Each year, the Foundation for Seminole County Public Schools, the Department of Teaching and Learning, Title I, Transportation, and the Communications Department are pleased to host the school board-supported event, Let's Read Seminole. The Big Red Bus has become a staple of the Seminole County community, traveling thousands of miles each year, and this year delivered over 4,000 books to support student summer reading. But regardless of whether students get books from the Big Red Bus, their local library, their own home, via the Let's Read Seminole program, Seminole County students are encouraged to keep reading and prevent that dreaded summer slide. Tonight, we're excited to recognize 6 incredible students who did their part to keep their brains sharp this summer. Our winners for this year's Let's Read Seminole will be receiving one of these red bags at the front and their certificate. And so first, I would like to recognize from Bear Lake Elementary, Xavier Herrera. And we'll just keep all of our winners up here. From Stenstrom Elementary, Riley Carl. From Greenwood Lakes Middle School, Jocelyn Figueroa. From Rock Lake Middle School, Alex Korn. And I didn't get a chance to see him, but hopefully our 2 high school winners are here. From Haggerty High School, Nikki Chan. Yes, she's here. And from Oviedo High School, Delaney Fose. Each of these students is leaving today with their very own Kindle Fire, where they can do all kinds of e-reading and keep up those great habits. So congratulations to all of our winners.
So for all the folks that are left, superintendent and board members, we'd like to recognize some of our positive behavior support model schools this evening. My name is Maureen Dobbins, and positive behavior support is a multi-tiered system of support that provides school-wide application of evidence-based strategies to assist schools in redefining their school environment. Effectively implemented, it provides increases in academic performance and school-wide safety and decreases problematic behavior. SCPS partners with the University of South Florida to implement this framework for behavior. Tonight we recognize 13 elementary schools who have excelled and therefore achieved statewide recognition as a positive behavior support model school for the 2018 school year. A PBS model school meets specific criteria and reports innovative, successful methods of supporting positive behavior while operating their PBS framework of behavior with fidelity. There are 3 levels of awards: bronze, silver, and gold. Some of our schools are getting silver tonight, some are getting gold. Bronze is the initial level at a Tier 1 support. Silver is with extra added supports for Tier 2. And gold level schools are the schools that support all of those things, including level 3, Tier 3. First up this evening, we'd like to recognize Bear Lake Elementary. Virginia Brouillard, PBS coach E.J. Burt, and that's who came. Congratulations, Bear Lake Elementary. Castleberry Elementary, we have with us tonight Principal Mallory Holliday, Coach Teresa Japp, Mary Walters Clark, Nancy Lansforseek, and Gary Lowe. Congratulations, Castleberry Elementary. Crystal Lake Elementary is represented this evening by Christy Marshall, PBS coach Nicole Farley, Jeff Foes, Amy Moore, and Zuzel Ekamendia. Congratulations, Crystal Lake Crocs. Next school we have this evening is Eastbrook Elementary with Principal Ricky Carver, Coach Brenda Knight, Janice Zeiger, and Christy Callaghan. The photo shuffle. Congratulations, Eastbrook Elementary. Forest City Elementary is in the house with Principal Paul Senko, Coach Brandon Thompson, and Assistant Principal Joe Avellino. They all match, I know. Congratulations, Forest City Elementary. Next up, congratulations to Lawton Elementary. Principal Leslie Durius, PBS coach Steve Wagner, Lindsay Todd, and Amy Sklar. Congratulations to Lawton Elementary. Redbug Elementary is here with Chris Watson, principal, Coach Pam Broom, Jake Novak, Tisha Geek, Libby Swanson, and Carly Foskey. And friends. Congratulations, Redbug Elementary. Sable Point Elementary is here tonight with their matching t-shirts. Dr. Tina Langdon, coaches Tracy Gustafson and Stephanie Getty, Cornelius Mays, Sue Christensen, Lisa Downing, Jessica Kane, Heather Doyle, Tanya Young, and TJ Agar. Congratulations, Sable Point. Sable Point brought their entire PBS team tonight. Don't start with me. Don't start. Don't start. Congratulations to the Gators from Sable Point Elementary. Hurts me. Next up, we have Spring Lake Elementary. Congratulations to them. Kelly Mitchell is the principal. PBS coach is Lissa Marquez. Congratulations, Spring Lake. But Sterling Park is up next, and they've brought with them this evening their principal, Dunmarie Dillard, their coach, Ian Poe Hicks, Teresa Thacker, and no other, I wasn't sure if you were bringing other team members. No, not. We're glad you're here. Congratulations, Sterling Park. Walker Elementary is here tonight with their principal, Debbie Jose, Carol Lynn Webb, PBS coach Pam Neal. Team members Jacqueline Albritton, Jennifer Hanley, and Jamie Metcalf. Congratulations, Walker Elementary. The fish philosophy. Wilson Elementary brings us Ryan Guard Harold, their coach Jennifer Ellis, Kelly Rydell, Shalene Burgess Kennedy, Esther Morse, and Allison Naresborough. Congratulations. Congratulations, Wilson Elementary. We've saved Woodlands for last because that's where they are in the alphabet, and we're so happy to have Principal Pat May here and Coach Tracy Williams. Congratulations, Woodlands, and to all the PBS schools, congratulations.
Good evening. My name is Lori Johnson, and I'm a member of the Florida Partnership for Healthy Schools, and it is my pleasure to present the Bronze Level Award Florida Healthy School District flag to Seminole County School District. The Florida Partnership for Healthy Schools is a grassroots partnership whose members represent not-for-profits such as American Heart Association, American Cancer Society, Florida Action for Healthy Kids, Alliance for a Healthier Generation, the Dairy Council of Florida, Florida PTA, and professional associations of hospitals, dentists, pediatricians, family practitioners, school nurses, health educators, and physical educators. The primary purpose of the partnership is to inform advocacy for school health issues and recognize excellence among Florida school districts. The Florida Partnership for Healthy Schools, Florida Action for Healthy Kids, Florida Association for School District Superintendents, and the Florida Healthy Kids Corporation applaud your district for establishing a culture and climate in which students and staff can reach their personal potential and continue to serve as leaders in the state in reducing and eliminating barriers to learning, resulting in increased academic achievement. Just to highlight a couple of areas where you excelled was in district infrastructure and health services. A well-established district infrastructure demonstrates strong administrative and community support, which leads to sustainable health policies and practices. Health services removes health-related barriers to attendance, performance, and academic success. Thank you for remaining on the forefront of ensuring the future of healthy Florida by creating health-literate and health practicing students and staff that are fit, healthy, and ready to learn by being a Florida Healthy School District. We look forward to supporting your success with training tools and other resources over the next several years. It is my pleasure to present Dr. Griffin with this sporty polo, and I would like to invite Debbie Caldwell up for her work on this award and also to present the flag.
Dr. Griffin and board members, I'd like to introduce our newest assistant principal at Parton Elementary School, Mrs. Lynette Borneman. If you'd come up, please. Mrs. Borneman received a bachelor's in legal studies. She has a master's in elementary education and ed leadership. She has taught both third and fourth grade for more than 13 years. She has worked as a behavior support specialist and a school administration manager for the past 2 years and is now currently serving as assistant principal at Parton Elementary School. With Mrs. Borneman tonight are Principal Nancy Urban, past principal and mentor Shannon Akerson, Jody Faberstein, and family members Randy Borneman and Kaylee Ellis. Please stand. Thank you. Congratulations and welcome.
Dr. Griffin and board members, it is my pleasure to introduce the newest member of the Assessment and Accountability Team, District Administrator for Assessment and Accountability, Ms. Joyce Moore. Ms. Moore, 21-year career with Seminole County Public Schools, started in 1997 at Altamont Elementary, where she held the position of FTE bookkeeper. Altamont was her home for 14 years before transitioning to the purchasing department, where she spent 2 years. And for the last 5 years, Joyce has been the SAM at Greenwood Lakes Middle School. With her this evening and her family members in attendance are her husband, Perry Moore, and Chelsea Hall, and Annie Allman, and A&A team members Daphne Zonka and Sarah Borowski. Welcome, Joyce.
I know, they're so cute.
They have a lot to be proud of. She's standing.
No, specifically.
Oh, it does? I thought it would hurt worse. Do
So much pain.
you have any ibuprofen or something to take?
I take a lot. Nothing's
Focus on achievement.
Yep. We got to know what I was doing.
All right, Dr. Camilleri, start working your way up here.
Oh, you already have some.
Good evening, board members and Dr. Griffin. Thank you for the opportunity to present the Focused on Student Achievement this evening. I'm always proud to highlight the awesome things happening at Seminole County Virtual School. Although these are normally pretty data-intense presentations, tonight, with the exception of the first slide, we're really going to focus on instructional innovation and the things happening at SCVS that translate to student learning. And so Dr. Camilleri and her team will take over in just a moment. Just to set the background, and we did talk about this data a little bit earlier today in the school board work session, but again, we've had significant growth in our commitment to virtual education in Seminole County Public Schools, culminating last year in 19,390 half credits completed at SCVS. And again, when you put all of those half credits together, it's 1,385 full-time equivalent students. So Seminole County Virtual School has really gone from being comparatively a very small kind of elementary school in numbers to a pretty large middle school. I think that's a good way of comparing. And then at any one point, because there are so many students taking half credits, the faculty and staff really can be serving upwards of 4,000 students at any one point. So it's a tremendous effort to get this work done. And again, there are some really unique advantages that our virtual teachers have that allow them to do some neat things. So Dr. Camilleri is going to take you through some of the features of virtual instruction. Thank you.
Dr. Wysong, and good evening. And we are really proud to be here to showcase what we do here at Seminole County Virtual School. And I brought with me one of our lead teachers, Matthew Cavalier, and he'll be talking about the academics from the vantage point of a teacher. He's also one of our lead teachers because we really believe in teachers supporting teachers, and they're our first trainers, support structure for teachers. They support each other, and he's also, this year, we've carved out a little bit of time that he is on campus as our student success advocate to really give a little more attention to students and families who need that, and that is really proving to be something we really needed to make sure our students are successful. And we also have my assistant principal here, Courtney Kavanaugh. So I'm going to go through a few things here, and I do believe our growth is really because of our tremendous academics, and also because of our relationships and support that we give to our families, and we'll talk a little bit about what is unique with how we work school in virtual. So a little bit about us, we do serve students in grades K through 12, full-time and part-time. We are a franchise of Florida Virtual School, and most of our courses are come from Florida Virtual School, but we do have other courses in a program called Edgenuity, such as French 3, and then we have built quite a few courses in the Canvas structure ourselves. We do operate 365 days a year. We do not close at any one moment. There are students throughout the whole year, every single day, students working, students starting classes, students in the middle of classes, and students finishing classes. And we have been an A-rated school district, but as you know, we have applied for that a little bit, but we've been an A-rated school for the past 3 years, and we're also very proud of that. So academics, Mr. Cavalier is going to speak to this.
Good evening. So one of the things that's great about our school is our curriculum is rigorous, but it is consistent throughout. It is designed by Florida Virtual School, but our teachers do have input. So if we decide this isn't quite rigorous enough, this isn't quite something our students are understanding, we can present that feedback to Florida Virtual School to update their curriculum. And we've actually had some great success in them updating their curriculum. And of course, in our eCampuses class, we can create our own as well. Grading is uniform. Every assignment has feedback, whether it is 100% or 60%. Students get detailed and specific feedback to help encourage them along with our mastery-based learning. So if a student is not performing as well as they had hoped, they do have opportunities to go back, take the feedback from the teacher, utilize that, and resubmit their work for a higher grade so that they can continue to grow as a student. Each module, which we would consider a unit in a brick and mortar classroom, students end that with a discussion-based assessment, which is a conversation between the teacher and the student. It's our opportunity to make sure that, one, all the work was theirs, because sometimes we do get on there and it's like, you don't really understand what's going on. But it is our opportunity to also kind of make sure that they fully understand before we give them that password to the exam that they're about to take. This also gives us an opportunity to talk with our students. We've had some great success in moving students who thought, I only want to take a regular class. Hey, you've had a great conversation here with me. I really see that you go above and beyond. How about you consider moving on to an honors class, or could we move you into the AP version of this course? So that really gives our students the opportunity to have a one-on-one conversation once a month, sometimes twice a month, with their teachers and kind of move them on to those experiences. And then once a month, we do offer live lessons where the teacher goes into a virtual classroom. They can put themselves on camera. The students can interact with the teacher as well as each other, and it gives them a little bit more input and learning on the specific topics that they're learning within the classes that they have. Thank you.
So just one last thing about this. One thing about virtual is the honors classes sit on top of the standard classes. So if a student is in standard, at any point in that course, the teacher can recommend going to honors, and they can just do it at any point in the course. And this year, I've challenged our teachers to find as many students, contact the students and the families, and see if they are, open to that. And we've had a lot of students that have, feel that, wow, my teacher thinks I can do better. So we're really trying to promote moving students to either honors or AP if it's available. So one thing about virtual is everything is really individual. Individual pace charts, individual conversations with teachers. As you know, they don't sit in classrooms. So everything is very personal between the student and the teacher. And so that allows them to build relationships with the students. And also there is mandatory conversations with students, mandatory conversations with parents, and there is continuous feedback between the students and the parents that is both recorded and documented. They are required through the Florida Virtual Franchise Agreement to document conversations with students and parents, and they are monitored both by myself and my staff, but also by Florida Virtual School. And we know at any one time if a teacher has overdue student contacts or parent contacts or grading or anything like that. But the detailed and specific feedback on assignments, a teacher cannot just give an 84B. They must give an 84B with comments on what the students can improve to improve their grade if they choose to do so. And they also should be encouraging students to do that. Monitoring and support, because everything is virtual, everything is available, whether it be phone records, text messages, student submissions. When they say, oh, my student's been working, we can look and say, the last time your student logged in, it was on October 1st at 2:45 p.m. and they were in there for 2 minutes. But it's also the same thing with teachers. We have all that information. So there is a lot of monitoring and accountability, both on the part of the students, the parents, the teachers, and of course, us as a franchise of Florida Virtual. Accountability, again, there's very objective monitoring. It's not subjective when we go in there. We can look, is the feedback valid? Is it robust? And Florida Virtual School also does audits on all of our classes. Our teachers, they give feedback if something seems out of the standard or inadequate. We will get a finding, and that we need to either retrain, reteach, or kind of rebuke the findings. So there's a lot of accountability for all of us, which we actually really do appreciate. And one thing that we're really proud of is we have really formed a great relationship through the ESE department. There are a lot of students that are medically fragile or have some mental health issues, and so we partner with the schools, with the counselors at the schools to provide the best combination of whether it be brick and mortar and virtual, or just virtual while the students are going through treatments and while they're unable to go to school. And then a member of my staff will monitor that student weekly and provide feedback to the counselors to say, hey, this student's keeping up or this student's not keeping up. But more importantly, when we have a child that is ill, they don't want 7 teachers calling to say, why isn't the child submitting work when the kid may be in the hospital or unable to work? So that gives the parent the opportunity to call one of my staff members and say, my student's unable to work, they're going to be in the hospital or something for 3 days. And then my staff member contacts the teachers and will tell the teachers when to re-engage with that family. So we do provide that. And then lastly, even though we don't directly serve full-time a lot of our seniors, we do impact the graduation rates every year between 500 and 700 seniors who need another half credit or more. Will start a virtual class February 1st or later and finish before graduation so that they can walk across the stage. So we're really proud to be able to partner with the schools to make sure, whether it be at-risk students, kids who are advancing, kids who need to make up credits, or some of our most at-risk students, medically or otherwise. And we do see ourselves as partners with all the other schools in our district to support the students. So, any questions for us?
Great job.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for everything you do. And I know you guys do things with Florida Virtual School, but can I just make a comment that I know that Seminole Virtual and Florida Virtual are different,
Yes.
and that my children have had the opportunity to do both. And Seminole Virtual, we keep the money in our county, where Florida Virtual, we have to pay outside. So, and
Yep.
your program is phenomenal. The fact that the teachers are readily available immediately is amazing. plus taking a tour of the facility where the students can still go there and get extra support is really nice to have.
Thank you so much.
Kudos to everything you all do.
Thank you, really appreciate it, and appreciate the support. I know you've all been out there and we've had conversations, but we're really proud of being a Seminole County public school, and we do everything possible to encourage students to choose us, but they choose us because, for me, if they come to us, they will stay with us. So we try to get them on the first blush to choose our school, because once they're there, they will stay there. So thank you.
Thank you.
Very much. Okay, so the only item that we pulled for clarification was the CM at risk for Pinecrest, and Dr. Calderon, you have offered to serve on that, and we appreciate that immensely. Is that good?
I would love
All right, so with that, is there a motion to approve the consent agenda?
So moved. Second.
Motion and a second, any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes unanimously. We have, I believe, only one, just student discipline. Thank you.
Board members, my recommendation is that the School Board of Seminole County approve the student disciplinary recommendations from Monday, September 24th, 2018.
So moved. Second.
Motion and a second. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes unanimously. Okay. Now, I have one public comment form that's filled out. If there's anybody else that would like to address the board, the white forms are on the back table. You're welcome to fill them out and bring them to the clerk. But tonight, and Dr. Calderon, would you like to read the public input statement?
I will. The public input segment of the meeting is provided to allow the public to present specific matters to the school board for its consideration and referral to the superintendent and staff for inquiry and action, or address specific items on the agenda. The public input segment of the meeting is not open to presentation of campaign issues by political candidates or others, student disciplinary actions, pending employee disciplinary matters, or pending litigation. It's not the intent of the school board to deprive any person of his or her right of freedom of expression. It is, however, the intent of the school board to promote mutual respect, civility, and orderly conduct on the part of members of the public appearing before the school board. You will have 3 minutes to address the school board. We'd appreciate it if you would address the school board, not the audience, and we're very pleased that you've taken the time to come to our meeting and willing to let your views be known to us.
Right. So tonight we have Heather Adesso. And Ms. Adesso, if you would state your name and address for the record.
My name is Heather Adesso. I am at 877 Buttonwood Lane in Altamont Springs. Okay, this evening I would like to present to you bus communication and after school. On September 10th, bus 294 was involved in an accident. The stated drop-off time for this bus in my neighborhood is 5:19 p.m. However, it usually arrives way earlier than that 5:19 p.m. I became alarmed at about 5:30, and I frantically called around looking for my missing child. I called Seminole County Transportation Dispatch, I called the main transportation line, and I called South Seminole Middle School, which is where my child was from. I was finally able to reach somebody who informed me that the bus should arrive a little after 6 p.m. and that it was involved in an accident. The next morning, I spoke with a Bryant Rivera, who is the safety manager with SCPS Transportation, in regards to the accident protocol, which I found out was to call the school, which is closed. So he left a message at 4:22 p.m. notifying the school that this bus was in an accident. What I have found out is that the only thing that Seminole County has for robocalling capabilities lies within the school. So if an accident happens with any of our school buses of the, 32,000 students a day that are transported to and from schools, they are calling a closed school and letting somebody know to use the robocall to let the parents know that their children are going to be over 2 hours late from school. I find this really disturbing, the fact that I can't find out where my child is, what's going on, and after a half an hour of calling, I only then found out that she was involved in an accident. Granted, there was no child that was hurt in this accident, so that was good, but there were 8 students on the bus. So I would really, really plead with you to allow Seminole County Transportation Services to have the robocalling capabilities to notify parents of late buses in the morning and in the afternoon for our sanity. Okay? Thank you very much for your time.
Appreciate that. Michael Lawrence is here. He's actually Director of Communications for us and can address some of your concerns. I think we may be able to solve this for you more quickly than you think.
Yes, thank you, board members. To address your concern, it's coming. We've been working on it for about since the beginning of the school year, over the last summer as well. There are some compatibility issues with the way the bus dispatch does their rostering versus what we have in our current database through Skyward for school messaging, which is what the district and our schools utilize. School Messenger is working on that. We should have it here very, very soon. It's almost done. Once they finish their compatibility issues in terms of their database roster, then dispatch, transportation dispatch will have access to the school messenger system like the district and schools have, to then be able to notify parents in real time when an accident occurs, whether it be in the morning or in this situation in the evening after hours, to notify families immediately. The only caveat to that will be that basically when at the beginning of the year they'll know who should be riding the bus. It doesn't necessarily mean that those students are riding the bus. So every parent will get a contact if they were supposed to be riding that bus, if that bus was involved in an accident. So the worst case scenario is a parent will know that my child didn't ride the bus that day, disregard that email or phone call. But for those that were anticipating arrival and know that their students ride that bus, they'll get notified immediately, and our SCPS transportation dispatch will be able to do that immediately. Since they get the initial calls right away, and whenever those situations occur, they'll be able to send that message out instead of the current system where they have to notify the school has to look up the roster and then notify parents. And in this situation, wouldn't happen because it's after hours. This way, that'll happen. So it's almost on its way. We should have it done very, very soon. And so, from that point forward, we'll be able to have that. So it's almost here.
Thank you.
Just as a suggestion, it might be good when we send that message out that says your child's bus has been involved in an accident, that we let them know what the severity might be, because a fender bender, as a mom, I'm picturing the worst immediately. So, we don't need blood pressure going through the roof unnecessarily.
And we might want to do a marketing campaign around it, because quite frankly, if I got a phone call saying your child's bus is in an accident, I would have thought, maybe my child got on a bus that I didn't know about. And so I would always assume the safety issue, so maybe even a protocol of how dispatch says it. If your child was on this bus this afternoon, just to inform you.
Good point.
To address that, we will do that, and we'll actually draft a couple templates for them so that they have at their disposal, so they don't have to work on the fly trying to think. We'll come up with various scenarios, make them as templates so that they're dispatched no matter, and they'll help train several folks within the dispatch to do it, so depending on their shift, there's always someone who will be available to do that, but we'll provide that for them.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. We appreciate that. And thank you, Ms. Adesso, for coming and bringing that to our attention. We appreciate it. All right. Is there any unfinished business?
There's not, Madam Chair, but I have 2 new business items. The first one is that the School Board of Seminole County approved the 2018-2019 tentative District 5-year facilities work plan as presented and authorized me to submit it to the Florida Department of Education.
So moved.
Second.
Motion and a second. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes unanimously.
Second new business item is that the School Board of Seminole County approved the 2018-19 legislative priorities.
So moved. Second.
Motion and a second. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes unanimously.
And board members, the superintendent report, they're read-only items, with the exception of item B, which I pulled earlier tonight, October 30th. We'll have Steve Alexander here to give us an overview of the investment portfolio.
Okay, that'd be great. Thank you. I know he was trying to catch a plane, and there was no way that he would have made it if he had stayed through all of our preliminary items, so we let him go.
So do we need to keep that item from our packet, or are you going to redistribute it? Okay, thank you.
Okay. Then board member committee comments and updates. and Member Sanchez.
All right. We haven't had a meeting since, I guess it's been like 5 weeks or so since our last meeting. But I'll go ahead and do a note. Thank you, Dr. Calderon, for going to my coalition meeting on Monday. I did get to go to the one before that and was able to speak about mental health initiative, and we had our legislative liaison discuss VAM scores and how they do it for the younger age, so that was really informative. Business Advisory Board meeting this past week was canceled, but I did have one prior to that, and we just talked about many of the different things that are happening, some of the different things being the mud walk, the 5K, spooky mud walk to save the environmental center, and the Sanford River Walk, which is coming up this weekend, right? It starts at Crooms, right? Of course, you know, Arts Alive is coming up, and I believe we do have about 2 tables left, and it's October 27th, and everything's ready to go with that. Of course, we could always use more auction items. I had an opportunity to go to the Caroline's Art Night, Family Art Night. Very impressed. They had all kinds of creative art activities for all the kids to do with the parents. The parents were putting their hands in paint, making canvases, and doing all kinds of fun, neat things, and then they had, I didn't have time to finish mine or I would have brought it, but they had I'm wonderful, I'm great, and you had to write little things about yourself and glue it down and draw pictures, and I just thought that was such a positive message to send out. So I thought that kudos to Caroline and their PTA for doing a great night with that. And Lake Brantley had a wonderful homecoming week, and they started out their festivities with Veterans Day, with the Veterans celebration. And firefighters and heroes were all there, and the heroes, the kids were able to go all in the trucks and do all the different things, and even the dance team was involved. They were face painting and doing all neat things like that, so really enjoyed that. The color guard was there. Lake Brantley also had a college and career expo that was packed, and they had many different things in different rooms. And coming up, I don't even remember the date, I should have wrote it down, but Winter Springs October, or Art Fest is coming up next week. I think it's next weekend. So we can see all the students' artwork. That would be nice to see. And then Michelle Lee Puppetry did their program for astronomy over at Goldsboro, and I enjoyed that. So thank you for having me for that. And then Dr. Griffin and I had an opportunity to meet with our Teachers of the Year, and we had a great lunch and learned a lot from them, and they gave us a lot of good feedback. So that was wonderful. And then also thank you, Minnie Cardona, for having the Hispanic meeting, task force meeting. And then we did celebrate Hispanic Heritage Month with a delicious cake. It was out of this world. And appreciate everything you do for everything that you do for our different cultures and everything. And other than that, I had a chance to go see Winter Springs Disenchanted. That was fabulous. And then I did see the Wayne Dench one, where we had a lot of students that were in it too. So kudos to everybody, and I'm going to let everybody else speak because we did everything else. That's it.
All right, Dr. Calderon.
Well, first and foremost, we need to say congratulations to Mrs. Almond on becoming a grandmother today. We're so excited. All right, now back to business. You have to begin with the end in mind.
Give us details on your
someday. This
report.
is the important stuff. We had a SHAC meeting this month, and I just can't thank enough Nemours for being such great community partners with us. They do free screenings for our students, and they are now offering free programs to high school students to how to navigate the healthcare system. Think about it. You know, they're going to have to go out and purchase their health care for the first time, and so everything that they offer to our students is free of charge. Additionally, there's a non-for-profit in Tampa called More Health, and they are coming around the state working with high school students that they can work with elementary school students on different health lessons. So we're hooking them up with our Seminole High School Health Academy. So that'll be great as well. And October 20th, our staff is going to be trained on managing diabetes in our students. And the unfortunate thing is, I know we always like to be number one in the state in a lot of things, but unfortunately the incidence in diabetes in our students here in Seminole is higher than the average in the state. So that's something that we're really trying to focus on. So it was nice that we got the award about trying to get healthy. We care about health and wellness in our students and our entire SCPS employee family. So that's reflective in that. From the Insurance Committee and Wellness, the announcement we have is we are in the middle of insurance open enrollment. We need all of our employees to go online and enroll and choose. And the difference this year, we had an additional health plan that can be opted for from our associates, which is a family plan. So I urge you, if you need more information, we're having sessions around the county. There's videos online you can watch. Dawn was starred in one, Demetrius starred in one. I mean, these are great videos to help you through this process. Monday, I attended the Central Florida Public School Board Coalition, and the bulk of the session was focused on school safety and security, and the company that presented is a company that is a competitive company to our RAVE, Panic Button. They just went live in Volusia County schools, so it'll be good for us to have that open dialogue and communication. And then the second part of the program was Dylan Thomas from Orange County Public Schools talking about Leadership Orange, which is just like our community leadership program. So many other districts around the state don't offer that. I see one of our students in this year's class here today, but we all agreed that it's really important to get that kind of information out to our community. And other than that, I attended our zoo board meeting. Good news, bad news. We had to say goodbye to Emba. She was one of our giraffes, passed away. She was 22 years old. But on the positive side, we welcomed one of the world's rarest critically endangered leopard cats to a new exhibit this weekend. So I urge any of you to go visit the zoo. He's so cute. But watch out squirrels, I'm saying. The squirrel ran across the top of the fence, and I was afraid he was going to jump through the fence to get the squirrel. And the other biggest change with the zoo is that we actually bought the zip line. It was actually an outside vendor who had the zip line there, and we ran the numbers and chose to purchase that. As far as the Seminole County Chamber representing this board, I want to say that we are very fiscally sound. We're adding new members every single month, new events every month. I know all of us attend those events, so it's a great way to share the great news of everything we're doing in education. I also attended the Central Florida Hotel Lodging Association Adopt a School program, and we have 2 new partners within our schools this year. Castleberry Elementary was adopted, as was English Estates, so we're looking for great support to those 2 schools in need. And CFE, their 10-year celebration, Ms. Salmond and I attended that. It's been 10 years they've had credit unions in the schools around Central Florida, and they want to continue their growth. So it was exciting to see not only our staff that were there managing, but also the credit union employees. Dr. Griffin, I want to thank you for representing us well at the League of Women Voters this month, talking about school safety and security. And Mrs. Almond and I attended our Christians in Public Education this past weekend, and Seminole High Gospel Choir rocked the house. We have a new choir director over there that I had not met until that morning, and a phenomenal, phenomenal leader, and I'm excited about what will be coming out of that beautiful choir. One question, and last thing, you had met with some of the teachers of the year. Dr. Griffin and I had the chance to meet with some of our students at Crooms, and I know all of us will be meeting in each of our high schools, but I have to tell you, I was so impressed with the students more than ever before. There wasn't any idea of safety and security that they couldn't list that we have done in the schools. So they really take it seriously, and we asked them to brainstorm on how they could feel more safe and secure, and they were very articulate in that. As Ms. Sanchez said, we're in the schools every week, and today we were visiting Woodlands Elementary. And we were talking to children about going through their data books, and we usually either start or end all of our visits, as you know, with a data chat with the principals. So, Dr. Griffin, what I've seen so far this year, which has been pretty consistent when we meet with the administrators who spend so much time on looking and drilling down at the data, is that I'm a little concerned that the specific standards aren't being documented. So if there's anything we as a board can do to help support that, if there's something that the cabinet needs to look into or any other way, because as we had in our work session this afternoon, not everything is good to use as an average when we were looking at school buses, but I think the same when we go to the students, if we can attack the specific standard, that would help.
I agree, and you're seeing what I'm seeing. The principals are stumbling a little bit. They have lots of good data, and it's definitely impacting instruction. Today we saw students getting ready for student-led conferences. Their parents were all coming in, that they understand a lot. But we're getting better and better at this. And I think, I know you all know, last week I invited 5 other superintendents and their teams up. And like 57 other districts, they're all iReady districts. And one thing that we created a couple of subcommittees, and one is specifically for iReady. It's not that we're unhappy with iReady, but we want iReady customized even more now. You add up what 57 districts are paying iReady. Our principals, who already have enough on their plate, shouldn't have to do more with the data, or even our assessment and accountability department. So we're going to put, in a very short amount of time, we're going to have some very specific recommendations. The 6 superintendents and the 5 superintendents and myself will meet with iReady executives and say, this is what we want in this product. I think we're all very nice as educators, and we kind of take what they give us, but everybody is working too hard for us not to have that specific information. But we're there now. This year we're trying to talk about how to do things. And the principals that are coming to cabinet are bringing standards information for us, but it's not always at their fingertips. They're digging for it a little bit, and I think we're to a point, and we're certainly paying enough to demand that service from them. So I appreciate your support in that, and I appreciate you supporting our principals just by seeing how hard they're working and they're struggling to get
Well, they really are, because I ask, how do you get to this point? And, they're making Excel spreadsheets, they're hand calculating things themselves, they're working nights and weekends like all of our teachers and all of our other employees are. But if there's a way that we could have that given to us in some sort of format, it would help us.
And the challenge has been, as you know, the results of a FSA are not given in specific standard-based information by domain. iReady has seen as much of the FSA as we have, but they're getting better and better as their database increases. So their data is going to be better. So they should be able to break and do a comparison between their items and standards. So we're ready to make that ask, and I think they're probably prepared for that.
But if anybody could ever tell us that the FSA is valid and reliable, we keep forgetting that question at the end of the day.
Yes. Ms. Lockhart's still waiting for her copy. I was at a meeting when you asked for it. How many years ago was that?
We'll keep asking.
No, but I appreciate you're supporting the principals and the teachers and their hard work, and whatever we can do for them, we should do for them. And that's all that it's about. And cabinet's completely on board. We've had this discussion in cabinet.
Okay, well, let us know what we can do.
Ready? Thank you for your congratulations. My early morning walk became an early morning run when my telephone rang and said, "Are you ready to be a grandma?" So I hightailed it to Florida, Altamont, Florida North Hospital, and I was greeted by a young man named Joseph, who is an intern student with the JET program from Winter Springs High School. He told me all about his teacher, Miss Del Russo, and how wonderful she was and how he loved the program, hoped to have a job at the hospital, and took me to my destination. And we, this afternoon, my son Nick and his wife Leanne had a baby girl named Maggie Estelle Almond, and she's beautiful and healthy and 7 pounds, and we're in love. So
Yay.
Anyway, thank you. In Dr. Harper's department, I saw on Facebook, Roger Baker, shout out for him. He completed the cystic fibrosis stair climb at Orlando World Center Marriott, 28 flights, 512 steps in 3 minutes and 8 seconds.
Way.
So
Oh my
whenever he's on
God.
break at work, he does the stairwell.
Oh my gosh, in 3 minutes.
All right,
It's
cabinet, we're next
amazing.
year.
Yeah, absolutely amazing.
Holy moly.
How you said 3 minutes?
3 minutes and 8 seconds. For 12 flights, 28
570
flights,
steps.
512 steps.
It's crazy.
He said it's easier to go to one direction than to be going up and down.
I can't go down 28 flights in 3 minutes. I can't imagine. Wow, amazing.
Children's Cabinet meets tomorrow. Dr. Walsh is going to present, and it'll be an overview, the annual, for all the agencies that are part of that. Let's read my chicken scratch. International Bully Prevention Association Conference, FDOE Safe Schools recognize Maureen Dobbins for her good work in the district, so congratulations to Maureen. She does a great job.
Cheers.
Thank you to Janice for their $152,000 STEM donation to the Early Learning Center for VPK. That was awesome.
Yes.
Who had any idea that they were thriving and so willing to support our kids? It's so wonderful. I'm so proud of Haggerty High School versus Oviedo High School for their yellow out for Britton and Daniel, and so many of the other schools have also done things to raise funds and support the family as well. Dr. Calderon, congratulations for your appointment to Seminole State College Board of Trustees. And I went with Dr. Wysong and some of his teammates to a business in Altamont who knew it was there called Echo Spears on top of Cafe Murano. They make these little plastic vials, and they put some kind of liquid in them, place them in lakes and oceans, suck up all the plastic particles, clean them out, and reuse them again without doing any damage to the ecosystem. It's fascinating. So they want to partner. I believe they talked about internships, which is wonderful. And lastly, the Sheriff's Department always supports the Faces of the Future breakfast for the Boys and Girls Club. Publix Charities support as well. It was a fabulous presentation. That they do such good things with those kids and keep them on the right track in life. That's my report. Thank you.
That's a great report.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, wonderful. Since we're doing shout-outs, I'm going to give a shout-out to Rick Francis, Captain Francis. We don't realize what an incredible gem we have here in Seminole County. He was asked to present to the International Association of Chiefs of Police this week down at the Orange County Convention Center, and to know that we have that level of sophistication and expertise here in our little old Seminole County about school safety and security is wonderful. And so we applaud you and hope it went well. He's very humble. Look, he wouldn't even smile. You smile? There goes the smile. All right. Also want to give a shout out to Girl Scout Troop 3050. They invited me to come and talk with them about their Inside Government badge. So I was there for a couple of hours, and girls from several of our different of our elementary schools, just brilliant. And so I got to watch them do this little project that they talked about all the different levels of government, and they were on it, and high school level work. I was really impressed. So any of our, we were talking about civics earlier, the Girl Scout Troop 3050 will be able to help us with that. They're doing an incredible job. They were a lot of fun. Then I had an opportunity to speak with Mark Wiley from the Associated Builders and Contractors Group, talking about internships again and the various opportunities that we really need to continue to pursue for our students in the construction trades industry. And I know, Dr. Calderon, you're working with an HVAC company here in town to talk about how we can do a better job of partnering. And so Jason Wysong, I gave your name to Mark Wiley. So if that name pops up on your caller ID, that was my fault. Also, with Hurricane Michael heading toward the Panhandle, want to keep all of our family and friends, and we have a lot of people that we do business with up there in the capital and in the Panhandle area. Want to keep them in our prayers. We know what it's like to prepare for a storm like that, and so I'm sure anything that we can do to help the school districts up in that area after things blow through, I hope we'll be able to do that. So, if there's nothing else.
One thing.
Okay.
Sorry. I forgot to mention that the teaching's coming up, and anybody that has not become a dividend, in order to speak or to present in a classroom, you must register to become a dividend. So that's November 13th, and it does take some time to turn around and make sure that your paperwork is in, so don't forget to do that part. And also, I wanted to see if we could possibly have a mental health work session with Dr. Walsh and see if you all are interested in doing that, kind of like we did with Captain Francis, and see the layout, and also meet the mental health counselors. I thought that would be a great idea if you're interested.
Sure, I think that'd be good. I think we did something not terribly long ago, but we'll talk about specifically what you'd like to cover, and then go from there.
I think it might be a good opportunity. We met over the DOE requirements,
Right.
and now I think it probably an hour, but just roll out how we really are doing this. And I would love to meet all the mental health counselors and just really chat with them a little bit.
All right, is that all? All right, this meeting is adjourned.
Thank you.